Okay, let's continue with the word of the Most High. Power of Abraham, power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. We're looking at Galatians, the 5th chapter. Galatians, the 5th chapter. And we're going to start at verse 14. Galatians 5 and 14. For all the law is fulfilled in one word, even in this, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. See? So that's part of what the commandments are built upon. To love the Most High with all our heart, mind, and soul, and strength, and love thy neighbor as thyself. Those two commandments, all the laws are based upon those two commandments. But he's dealing with us as far as loving our neighbor as thyself. But if ye bite and devour one another, take heed that ye be not consumed one of another. That's why he said, a kingdom divided against itself shall not stand. That's why we got to come out to the love of the brothers and not be so divided, and you have no reason to hate your brother as you are a murderer, as we went through already and seen in the scriptures. This I say then, walk in the Spirit, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh. Now, for some it's hard to walk in the Spirit because they're carnal-minded. They don't really understand walking in the Spirit. But you're going to go to the flesh first, then you're going to go to the Spirit. For the flesh lusts against the Spirit. So that's mean they're in opposition of each other. They battling against each other. Your flesh, your carnal mind, will battle against the spiritual mind, but if you don't have the understanding of how to be spiritual, only thing you have is to be carnal. Why you are carnal? You see people walking around all carnal, mean-spirited, and don't know how to really treat people. Love the neighbor as thyself. So when you treat someone, then they're going to treat you the same way. It's going to come back on you the same way. You start with self-examination of yourself. How you feel about yourself, how you don't love somebody else. You don't love yourself, you can't love nobody really. That's a true fact. You don't care about yourself that much, you can't care about nobody else. That's why I say love that neighbor as thyself. So how you feel about yourself is how you going to show love to someone else. And you receive that same love back. It says, this I say then, walk in the Spirit, verse 16, and ye shall not fulfill the lust of the flesh, for the flesh lusts against the Spirit, and the Spirit against the flesh. And these are contrary the one to another, so that ye cannot do the things that ye would. So you got that battle going on in you. If you're not looking at allowing the Spirit to battle against the flesh and let the Spirit win instead of the flesh winning. They're going to hear the operations of the flesh with the operations of the Spirit. Now which one you rolling in is the question. It says, verse 18, but if ye are led of the Spirit, you are not under the law. So if you led of the Spirit, you're going to do what the law says you're supposed to do. He ain't talking about disannulling the law. Trust me, he ain't talking about you ain't under the law. As far as following the law, you ain't got to be told and examined about the law because you're doing what's right in the eyes of the Most High. Listen, now the works of the flesh are manifest, which are these. You're doing all these things, think you're going to make it to the kingdom? And you think you ain't under the law? It says adultery, fornication, uncleanness. Come on, you got to be clean. Uncleanness. I mean, you got to be clean. We had to wash up before we came to before the Most High. Remember, you going before the Most High. Even when we went to war, we wore our best warlike apparel before the Most High as he went before us to fight with us in our battles and so forth. When we come into the temple, we had to wash. The Most High said, look, he said, wash themselves up. Couldn't come before the Most High dirty, unclean. Uncleanness, lasciviousness, inordinate sexual acts and so forth, which is abomination to the Most High. Lascivious, idolatry, anything that's outside from following and believing in and honoring the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Idolatry, witchcraft, hatred. I mean, you walk around with a hatred spirit, you walking around in the flesh. Hatred, variance, emulations, wrath, strife, seditions, heresies, envyings, murders, drunkenness. Can't be getting drunk. You can drink in moderation. You gotta get drunk, walking around drunk, high all the time, revelings, arguing all the time, going back and forth, arguing, and such like, of the which I tell you before, as I have also told you in time past, that they which do such things shall not, I repeat, shall not inherit the kingdom of the Most High. That's why I keep saying you gotta be changed. You gotta become a new creature. You gotta be born again with the Spirit of the Most High. And do what He say do. Follow His rules and regulations. Hear what He said. You operate in the entities, you gotta change. Come out of it. But the fruit of the Spirit is love. We know love is keeping of the commandments. Moshe Shai said that in 1 John 15 and 14. If you love me, keep my commandments. The love of the Most High, 1 John 5 and 3. For this is the love of the Most High, that we keep His commandments, and the commandments are not grievous. See? 2 John 6. 2 John 6. For this is love, that we walk after His commandments. That's it. I mean, Galatians 5:22. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, keeping the commandments of the Most High. And when you do that, you have joy, peace, long suffering, suffering long, gentleness. You won't have all these characteristics: gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, humility, temperance. Against such there is no law. And they that are Mashiachim, as He said we are, have crucified the flesh with the affections and lusts. That's that change. You become a new man. You're changing. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. You live in the Spirit, that means you got to apply the Spirit in your life. That's walking in the Spirit, of application of how you apply the fruits of the Spirit in your life. With humility and a broken and contrite spirit. That's effective before the Most High. We can have, and you can have, the blessings that He wants you to have. Because you're doing what He wants you to do. If we live in the Spirit, let us also walk in the Spirit. Let us not be desirous of vain glory. Say, don't be desirous of vain glory. You want to call yourself the chosen of the Most High, but you're looking to be somebody. It's vain glory here. Worthless glory. Provoking one another. Envying one another. See? That's why, look. Go to Philippians. You want all this glory in this wicked kingdoms that we scattered in. Why do you think you got to come back and judge and make war? And shut down all these kingdoms? Because of the wickedness. Here you looking to be somebody in wickedness. Look at it. Philippians 2 and 7. This is Mashiach Yahushua, but made Himself of no reputation. He want no vain glory. So He would heal people and say, don't tell nobody. That's why we know He had to be a brother. We know He had to be a brother. Because anytime He's going to heal people and say, don't tell no one, oh man. You know. You go to the hospital and say you don't have no insurance. So you don't have no means to pay for what it is that you need. And whatever problem you have, go into the emergency room and see what happens. Go to a regular hospital and tell them, I don't have no means to be able to pay. I don't have no means to pay. And see what happens. See if you be accepted. I remember the lady was in the corner waiting on to be saved. She just died right there. Everybody walked by her. She just died right there. So we know he was a brother. Because what? It says, look, Philippians, because y'all want vainglory in the wicked kingdom, it says, but made himself of no reputation, and took upon him the form of a servant, and was made in the likeness of men. And being fashioned in the fashion as a man, he humbled himself. Mashiach humbled himself. And became obedient unto death, even the death of the cross. See? That's how we're supposed to be. He was an example of how we're supposed to be. So it ain't about no vainglory, trying to be somebody in hell. You tell everybody it's hell, it's the hell, but yet still you trying to be somebody in hell, trying to build your personal kingdom in hell. Because people know who's saying that they Mashiachim. Most people following the leader, whatever leader they under. You're not letting them know that they Mashiachim. Better understand, read and understand. Most High name is jealous. And Mashiach said in St. John 10 and 30, I and my Father are one. They agree. So you better give him and let our people know that they are Mashiachim, the children of Israel. We Mashiachim. Mashiach is the Most High's. But see, if you don't do that, then naturally you could be exalted. Because you love people to talk about you. You ain't no Thawamim, none of y'all. We Mashiachim, period. And that's how it is, that's how it's going to be forever and ever and ever. We Mashiachim. So Mashiach didn't make himself of no reputation, but took upon him the form of a servant. Ecclesiastes 12 and 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High. See what it say? Fear the Most High. First and foremost. And keep his commandments. For this is the whole duty of man. So we got to fear the Most High and keep his commandments. It's the whole duty of man. For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment. He's going to bring everything that we have done into judgment. With every secret thing. You hear that? So ain't nothing being done in secret. Chosen people of the Most High, Israelites. You hear what he said? For the Most High shall bring every work into judgment with every secret thing, whether it be good or whether it be evil. And he's going to use a Mashiach Yahushua to bring it forth. Oh yeah. That's why, as much as in us, we have to please the Most High by keeping his laws, statutes, commandments, and keeping the faith in a Mashiach Yahushua, going to the Most High on our behalf. 2 Corinthians 5 and 10. For we must all appear before the judgment seat of a Mashiach Yahushua, that every one may receive the things done in his body, according to that he have done, whether it be good or bad. See, same thing we just read. That you know that the Most High has given all the judgment to a Mashiach Yahushua, who's going to judge according to the power of the Most High. Period. Knowing therefore the terror of a Mashiach Yahushua as he comes to judge and make war and melt people. We persuade men, but we are made manifest unto the Most High. We are made manifest unto the Most High, and I trust also are made manifest in your consciences, in your minds. So if you say you rolling by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua, then jump to verse 17. Therefore, if any man be by Hashem Mashiach Yahushua and rolling in the name of the Lord and Savior, he is a new creature. Old things are passed away. You gotta let go of the past. can't hold on to that, especially if you've done things that were wrong and you repented. Well, you got to believe that the Most High forgave you. You can't keep reliving that. Well, what you could ask the Most High to forgive you for. Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new. So you become this new creature. To be able to follow the fruits of the Spirit. And let go of the fruits of the flesh. You see? That change has to be made. And it will be seen. Because you will make sure that you are living properly, regardless of how anybody else look at you. It don't matter. It's how the Most High look at you. How Mashiach Abishai see you. How the holy angels see you. Because Satan and his imps reporting against you all the time if you're doing negative. He's all in there. Giving a report consistently. Look at Psalm 78 and 5. Psalm 78 and 5. Psalm 78 and 5. For he established a testimony in Jacob and appointed a law in Israel. See? He established a testimony in Jacob, our forefather, and appointed a law in Israel to the Israelites, which he commanded our fathers that they should make them known to their children. So we're supposed to let the children know about the laws of the Most High, that the generation to come might know them. See, that the generation to come might know them like we didn't know, like we should have known. You see, because the church teaches we're not under the law, but we're in the mercy and grace. And they teach that we're Gentiles, so you wouldn't even come to the conclusion that you are the Israelites if you being programmed, your brain being polluted with the fact that you're a Gentile when you're the children of Israel. How you going to come to this? Unless the Spirit of the Most High, you step outside from that teaching and let the Spirit of the Most High guide you into the fact that you are the chosen of the Most High, the children of the Most High. It says, which should be born, the children which should be born, who should arise and declare them to their children, that they might set their hope in the Most High, their faith in the Most High, and not forget the works of the Most High, but keep his commandments. Hear that? Keep his commandments. It might not be as their fathers, a stubborn and rebellious generation, a generation that set not their heart, which is their mind, aright, and whose spirit was not steadfast with the Most High. See? The children of Ephraim being armed and carrying bows turned back in the day of battle. They kept not the covenant of the Most High, and refused to walk in his law. You hear that? They didn't keep the covenant the Most High made with us, the children of Israel, and they refused to walk in his law and forgot his works and his wonders that he had shown them, marvelous things that he in the sight of their fathers in the land of Egypt. So all 12 tribes were in Egypt. That's why he's going back to let them know, the northern tribe. They forgot about the law. That's why it's so hard to bring them into this, because it's been so many years that they have not dealt with the laws of the Most High, as it says. But Mashiach Abishai said he's going to make us one stick. And we coming together right before, because the kingdom of heaven comes without observation. We coming together right before your eyes. Marvelous things did he in the sight of their fathers, in the land of Egypt, in the field of Zohan. See, it goes on to show all the mighty things that the Most High did, coming out of Egypt into the wilderness and in the wilderness, that they seen beyond the things that he did in Egypt to the things he done in the wilderness that were miracles and signs and so forth and wonders, and still turned their back on him. You wonder why he says Judah is his lawgiver, because they turned their back on him. So he turned his back on them. and on us for the things that the wicked of Israel did. Point blank. Deuteronomy 26. Deuteronomy 26 and 18. And the Most High have avouched thee this day to be his peculiar people, as he hath promised thee, and that thou shouldest keep all his commandments, and to make thee high above all nations, which he hath made in praise, and in name, and in honor, and that thou mayest be an holy people unto the Most High, your power, thy power, as he has spoken. But what do we do? See, he said he made us a holy people above all nations. But what we do? Daniel's, go to Daniel's 9th chapter, 11th verse. Yeah. Daniel's 9 and 11. All Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they might not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse is poured upon us, and the oath that is written in the law of Moses, the servant of the Most High, because we have sinned against him. See? We told the Most High we're going to follow his laws, but yeah, all Israel have transgressed thy law, even by departing, that they may not obey thy voice. Therefore the curse that he pronounced on us in Deuteronomy 28:16 verse to 68 is happened to us, we the children of Israel. Isaiah 48 and 11. These are all the things that, the Most High is letting us know. That we as chosen people, but we turn our back on them. We act like we didn't want to be the chosen from our actions. Isaiah 48:11. For mine own sake, the Most High saying, even for mine own sake will I do it. For how should my name be polluted? And I will not give my glory unto another. See? So he giving his glory to another. How should his name be polluted? Hearken unto me, O Jacob and Israel, my called. See, I am he. I am the first, I also am the last. My hand also hath laid the foundation of the earth, and my right hand hath spanned the heavens. When I call unto them, they stand up together. See? They in order. That's what he's saying. His angels in order. Isaiah 63 and 19. Isaiah 63 and 19. So I say, for all that we've been through and going through and going to have to go through, by the time we get to the kingdom, we're going to be very much elated. Isaiah 63 and 19. We are thine. Thou never bear rule over them, these other nations. They were not called by thy name. See, these other nations were not called by the Most High's name. But we were children of Israel. So I look at Psalms 81 and 5. It says, this, talking about the new moon feast, this he had ordained in Joseph for a testimony. When he went out through the land of Egypt, listen, he went out through the land of Egypt in Africa, where I heard a language that I understood not. So you understand their language. That's how much he cared about these other nations. So he heard a language that he understood not. So hopefully y'all see and understand and think, oh, well, I don't have to learn Hebrew because most I know that we speak English and we speak French and we speak all these different languages. But I remember Mashiach came back. He met Paul on the road to Damascus. He spoke the Hebrew tongue. He didn't speak the other languages, Latin and Greek and so forth. He spoke the Hebrew tongue. He came back and spoke in the Hebrew tongue. So we have opportunity to learn a lot. There's no excuse. I mean, this internet is wide open, and you have those that know. There's myself that could teach you. If you're not concerned, then why should you be concerned with you? It's very important that we see this, understand this, and roll with it. Because if you don't, then when the judgment comes, what can you say? What can you say? What can you open your mouth and say? I would have, but I had to do something for myself that was more important than doing something that I should have been doing that you told me I should. That's the same thing Israel always done. We always had excuses. That's why I did a whole lesson on excuses. Maybe I need to do it again. Because a lot of y'all probably just heard it, then it go in one ear and out the other ear. You didn't really take it to heart, to your spirit. Jeremiah 33 and 19. Jeremiah 33 and 19. And the word of the Most High came unto Jeremiah, saying, Thus said the Most High, if ye can break my covenant of the day, you can break his covenant of the day, and my covenant of the night. I mean, the day don't come out. You talking about the sun and the moon, talking about the day. Because the day was created before the sun and the moon and the stars. He said, you can break my covenant of the day, where there's no day, light, no day that takes over from darkness. And my covenant of the night, which is darkness. And that there should not be day and night in their season. No more day and night. Then may also my covenant be broken with David my servant, that he should not have a son to reign upon his throne, who was a Mashiach Yahushua, and with the Levites, the priests, my ministers. See? Look at Isaiah 49. Isaiah the 49th chapter. Verse 14. Isaiah 49:14. But Zion said, the Most High have forsaken me, and my power have forgotten me. Can a woman forget her suckling child? Saying, can a woman forget her baby? That she should not have compassion on the son of her womb? Yeah, they may forget. Say, a woman might forget. Yet will I not forget thee. See? Say, that woman might forget her suckling child. Say, they might forget. Yet will I not forget thee. That's why Paul said in Romans 11 and 1. I say then, hath the Most High cast away his people? Hath the Most High cast away his people? Most High forbid. For I also am an Israelite. He didn't say he was a Christian or anything else. He said, I am an Israelite of the seed of Abraham, of the tribe of Benjamin. The Most High hath not cast away his people which he foreknew. See? He has not cast away his people which he foreknew. So, when you look at, go to Revelations, the 7th chapter. And we're going to read verse 3. We can read verse 1. And after these things, verse 1, Revelation 7 and 1. I saw 4 angels standing on the 4 corners of the earth, holding the 4 winds of destruction of the earth, that the wind of this destruction should not blow on the earth, nor on the sea, nor on any tree. So they holding back the destruction. That wind is that destruction that's coming. And I saw another angel sending from the east, having the seal of the living power. And he cried with a loud voice to the 4 angels to whom it was given to do what? These 4 angels that's on each corner of the earth, the north, the south, the west, and the east. Their commandment is to do what? To whom it was given to hurt the earth and the sea. They have a demand, a commandment of the Most High to hurt the earth and the sea. This is what the Mashiach was going to tell them, saying, hurt not the earth. Hurt not the earth, neither the sea, nor the trees, till we have sealed the servants. Well, we know we done went through the servants of our power, who are the Hebrew Israelites, in their foreheads, in our minds. And I heard the number of them which were sealed, and there were sealed 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. So this is the 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. They ain't all the tribes of the children of Ishmael, Edom. Because it could say that. It would say that. Ham, Elam, or any other nation. Moab, Ammon, no. 144,000 of all the tribes of the children of Israel. That's what it's saying. Of the tribe of Judah were sealed 12,000. And you got to go by these tribes. This is the last book of the Bible. Of the tribe of Reuben was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Gad was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Asher was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Naphtali was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Manasseh was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Simeon was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Levi was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Issachar was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Zebulun was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Joseph was sealed 12,000. Of the tribe of Benjamin was sealed 12,000. 12,000. That's 144,000. 12 times 12,000 equals 144,000. It says, and after this, a lot of you want to that go to church, I want to run to this scripture to say this is how you brought in as a Gentile, but listen, it's clear. And after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude. And after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude. Keep that in mind. I got to read it one more time to understand it. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, because we're more numerable than the sand of the sea and the stars in the sky, as the 12 tribes of Israel, of all nations, coming out of all nations and kindreds, and people and tongues, speaking different languages, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, Mashiach Yahushua, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands, and cried with a loud voice. This is what they're going to say. Saying, salvation to our power, which sitteth upon the throne. That's the Most High, who's the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, as we went through this in Exodus 3:15-16, Matthew 22:32, and Acts 3:13. He's the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, period. He's the moral to all generations, which sitteth upon the throne and unto the Lamb. See? So now let's go back to what the church is trying to say, that that's bringing in the Gentiles, these other nations outside of the 12 tribes of Israel, once he sealed the 144,000, which they don't teach of each tribe of the 12 tribes of Israel. Those are not Gentiles. Those are the true Hebrew Israelites. Now it says in verse 9, after this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude. Let's look and see if we can find who that great multitude is and what was said concerning a great multitude. It's interesting. But the Spirit said, look over here and let's see who became a great multitude. Let's read 2 Ezra 3:16. 2 Ezra is in the Apocrypha 3:16. And it says, and unto him thou gavest Isaac. So to Abraham, the Most High gave Isaac. And unto Isaac also thou gavest Jacob and Esau. Twins, Jacob and Esau. As for Jacob, thou didst choose him to thee. That's what we're dealing with. The chosen. See, the Most High chose Jacob to himself. And put Esau to the side. And so Jacob became what? A great multitude. You see that? Jacob became a great multitude. So you see the lamb, which Shemaiah said in Matthew 15:24, but he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. And we know that the Most High, our power, is the power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. Jacob became that great multitude that you see in right here in Revelations 7 and 9. Now, it says, let's deal with it. Revelation 7 and 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude. We just seen that Jacob, our forefather Israel, the Israelites became a great multitude in 2 Ezra 3:16. Which no man could number. Okay, no man could number. So go to Hosea 1 and 10. Hosea 1 and 10. No man could number. Hosea 1 and 10. Hold that. So we're going to look at it. It's going to be proven without a shadow of a doubt. Hosea 1 and 10. Yet the number of the children of Israel shall be as the sand of the sea, which cannot be measured nor numbered. You hear that? Okay? Revelation 7 and 9. After this I beheld, and lo, a great multitude which no man could number. Israel became that great multitude that no man could number. Of all nations. Okay? Why are we of all nations? Deuteronomy 24:64. Get right to it. Deuteronomy 28:64. And the Most High shall scatter thee among all people, from the one end of the earth even unto the other, talking to we the children of Israel. And there thou shalt serve other gods, other idols, which all the gods of the nations are idols, which neither thou nor thy fathers have known, even wood and stone. See? Even wood and stone. So, but the main thing I'm here because it says the Most High shall scatter thee among all people. See, we were scattered among all people. And when you look at when we were brought down in 70 AD, we were scattered then. Look at what Shemaiah said in Luke 21 and 24. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword. He was battling from 65 to 70 AD. And shall be led away captive into all nations. You hear that? Shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled. And the time is pretty much over. So, but it's here we're looking at, we're going to be led away captive into all nations while we're coming out of all nations. Because the Most High say He's going to scatter us among all nations. Then when you look at Acts the 2nd chapter, just for to show you all we scattered among all nations. But who is it that came to the feast of the Pentecost, the day of Pentecost, the day of ingathering, the day of the first fruits, a holy convocation, a feast that the Most High gave to us, the children of Israel, Acts 2 and 5. And there were dwelling at Jerusalem Jews, devout men, out of every nation under heaven. You see? Jump to verse 9, I'm going to show you where we came from. Parthians, and Medes, and Elamites, and the dwellers in Mesopotamia, and in Judea, and Cappadocia, and Pontus, and Asia, Phrygia, and Pamphylia, in Egypt, and in parts of Libya, about Cyrene, and strangers of Rome, Jews and proselytes, Cretes and Arabians. We do hear them speak in our tongues the wonderful works of the Most High. So that's different languages that you're going to see right here in Revelations 7 and 9. We hear them speak in our tongues, our languages, the different languages that they learn, just like we learn different languages in our captivity today. Verses 7 and 9 again. After this I beheld and lo, a great multitude, which no man could number, of all nations and kindreds and people and tongues, languages, stood before the throne and before the Lamb, clothed with white robes and palms in their hands. So when you understand, it says, and people and tongues, see, it says, of all nations, coming out of all these nations and kindreds and people. Now when you understand our forefather Jacob, go to Genesis 35, what he became. Genesis 35 and 10. Genesis 35 and 10. The Most High said unto him, thy name is Jacob. Thy name shall not be called any more Jacob, but Israel shall be thy name. And he called his name Israel. And the Most High said unto him, I am the Most High Almighty. Be fruitful and multiply. A nation, listen, a nation and a company of nations, plural, shall be of thee, and kings shall come out of thy loins. See? So a nation and a company of nations. That's why you see nations, yeah. Because we are 12 nations that make up one nation, the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why he said a nation and a company of nations shall come out of our forefather Jacob to make up what? The 12 tribes of Israel. So there it is. I mean, need I say more? I mean, that's pretty clear. Hopefully, if not, then ask the Most High for wisdom, so you can understand what it is that's being said here. Isaiah 40 and verse 8. Isaiah 40 and verse 8. The grass withereth, the flower fadeth, but the word of our power shall stand forever. The grass might wither away, the flower fades from its beauty, but the word of the Most High shall stand forever. Amos 3 and 7. Amos 3 and 7. Surely the Most High power of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Jacob being the forefather of the 12 tribes of Israel, will do nothing, but he revealeth his secret unto his servants, the prophets. See? He revealed his secrets unto his servants, the prophets. That's why we read that scripture where the little bird comes and speaks on them? Oh, yeah. Who the servants? We went over it once, let's go over it again. Who the servants? How you prove who the servants are? Isaiah 44, 1 and 2. First and foremost, yet now hear, O Jacob, my servant, and Israel, whom I have chosen. See? You won't find nowhere where he chose anyone else as a nation. Thus said the Most High that made thee and formed thee from the womb, which will help thee. Fear not, O Jacob, my servant, and thou Jezreel, whom I have chosen. Jump to verse 21. Remember these, O Jacob and Israel, for thou art my servant. I have formed thee. We say he formed us from the womb. Thou art my servant, O Israel. Can't get no clearer than that. Thou shalt not be forgotten of me. See? Said we're not going to be forgotten of the Most High. That's why we're here in these last days bringing forth this truth. Psalms 11 and 4. Psalms 11 and 4. For the Most High is in his holy temple. Psalms 11 and 4. For the Most High is in his holy temple. The Most High throne is in heaven. His eyes behold. His eyelids try the children of men. The Most High trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. Remember what Mashiach said? The kingdom of heaven suffers violence, and the violent take it by force. Hear what he say here? Let me read it to you. I mean, y'all, you probably forgot because there's so many things that you probably have on your mind. I ain't forgot. I haven't forgot. Look what he said. In Matthew 11 and 12. And from the days of John the Baptist until now, the kingdom of heaven, which the 12 tribes of Israel, we the kingdom of heaven, suffereth violence. So we were suffering violence. And the violent take it by force. Now we done read about how he said they're going to make a trench. They're going to make a trench all around us. I think we read that. He said in Luke 21 and 20, let's go over it again. We can't review enough. Luke 21 and 20, he said the violent take it by force, right? Luke 21 and 20. And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is nigh or near. Then he told us to flee into Africa. Parts of Africa, fleeing from Roman persecution. And he told us in Luke 19 and 43. He said, for the days shall come, Luke 19:43, the days shall come upon thee that thine enemies, so he's calling the ones that the violent are enemies that take us by force. What would it say? That thine enemies shall cast a trench about thee and compass thee round and keep thee in on every side and shall lay thee even with the ground, kill you. And thy children within thee, kill the children, and they shall not leave in thee one stone upon another, because thou knewest not the time of thy visitation. But those that knew, they fled in Africa. That's when we fled in Africa. Masses, millions of us. So now, when you look at what happened to us, keep in mind, we here because it says, look, Psalms 11 and 5. Most High trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. See? Psalms, what happened to us when they came in? Told you, but let's read it. Psalms 79 and 1 down. When the Romans came to take us down in Israel, we had to flee into Africa. This is what happened. It was prophesied what would happen. Psalm 79 and 1. O Most High, the heathen, the enemies, as a Mashiach Abishai just proclaimed in Luke 19:43. O Most High, the heathen are coming to thine inheritance, into our land of Israel. Thy holy temple have they defiled. You can read about that. We're going to read about that in the Feast of Lights. On Antioch's Epiphanies and how they defiled our temple. They have laid Jerusalem on heaps. Like Mashiach Abishai said it will be laid on the ground. Children, men, women, everyone. The dead bodies of thy servants, we know the servants are the 12 tribes of Israel, have they given to be meat unto the fowls of the heaven. The buzzards and the birds were eating off our bodies. And the flesh of thy saints unto the beasts of the earth. Different beasts eating our bodies. They wasn't buried. Their blood have they shed like water round about Jerusalem, and there was none to bury them. We are become a reproach to our neighbors, a scorn and derision to them that are round about us. See? And all this because we didn't follow the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, Israel. That's why it's imperative that you come back to the law, statutes, commandments of the Most High, so that you don't fit into the destruction and the woe and lamentation and fire and brimstone that he's going to bring upon this earth when he sent him Mashiach Abishai back to judge and make war, to set up righteousness on this earth. Psalms 11. Psalms 11, verse 4. The Most High is in his holy temple. The Most High's throne is in heaven. His eyes behold, his eyelids try the children of men. The Most High trieth the righteous, but the wicked and him that loveth violence, his soul hateth. Listen, upon the wicked he shall rain snares